Well, are you?
No, look at this shit. Check it out. Look at this shit.
Charlie Kirk is definitely not the morals I support.
Your homie dead! Fuck your homie dead! He got shot in the head!
Charlie Kirk got hit in the head,
Yeah? Bro, you come here, Sam.
I used to proudly call myself a liberal, but I've grown really tired of the performance, the fear-mongering, and the refusal to have real conversations.
I've been voting Democrat for 31 years. I'm done. I'm out.
I am fucking done with the Democratic Party. You guys are psychotic.
Well, welcome to the land of political misfits. Hope you're settling in well. Hi, hello, a lot has happened since I last saw you. Firstly, just a huge thank you to everybody who watched my last video. I know it was a lot to sit through, but it is important to just catalog this kind of stuff because that's not happening is already happening.
Everybody here acknowledges that there have been thousands upon thousands of people, ordinary people, who have taken to social media to celebrate this, yes or no?
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I have high school friends who are.
I really thought it would take longer. I don't know why I thought that. Expecting too much there, I guess. But in addition to the thousands of comments and videos that have just spanned across the internet celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk, people have also called for more violence, more assassinations.
We're gonna have to kill a shit ton of people for things to change. Do you know that?
Some people have been mocking Erica Kirk, a grieving widow.
He was my husband, and I loved him, and he loved me almost as much as he loved America.
And also made sure to destroy some vigils and memorials made in Charlie Kirk's name across the country.
He lived as he died, promoting violence. Report all you want.
Look at these streets, dude. Well, are you?
No, look at this shit. Check it out. Look at this shit.
Fuck all this overreactive bullshit. Fuck Charlie Kirk. Fuck Charlie Kirk.
In one instance, a nice mural painted on a large rock was destroyed by a woman when she painted over the tribute with blue paint.
Just so you guys know, I'm fully religious too.
We know that
Oh, I do, but Charlie Kirk is definitely not the morals I support or the religion I support, where you're just taught to love your neighbor.
In another clip, a man is tackled for attempting to trash a vigil, and one woman allegedly assaulted people attending a Charlie Kirk vigil while chanting, "Y'all homie dead, he got shot in the head."
homie dead! Fuck your homie dead! He got shot in the head!
And apparently if you go too far left, you just morph into the Westboro Baptist Church, because they also had their own form of funeral protesters.
I don't have to be disrespectful for these fucking
He's causing annoyance. He's being disorderly.
I'm not getting out of here.
He's being disorderly.
Get out of here. Come on.
Arrest him! He's being disorderly.
Hey, Mike, you keep your fucking mouth shut. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Take him. He's disorderly.
But amongst the doom and gloom, there is hope on the horizons, ladies and gentlemen, which I would like to share with you today, because we all just function a lot better if we're not black-pilled into oblivion. And I just refuse to be black-pilled, okay? This is a non-black-pilling corner of the internet. Most days anyway. Perhaps there will be a day where I am just so downtrodden that I will need you to remind me to just be annoyingly optimistic again. Leftists celebrating political terrorism does seem to be a turning point for some who have decided to reject the left wing. That doesn't mean that people are breakneck sprinting towards the right by any means, and I also don't really expect them to. But the soulless and violent reactions of leftists over the past few weeks have led some to look around the room and realize that they don't align with these people. And if you didn't know, I am a former leftist myself, so this topic really just resonates with me, and I kind of always love kind of diving into the I left the left stories, or at least like the I reject the left stories, because I find a lot of parallels within my own, experience. Easy to relate to. Like one young man on TikTok who explained that the hypocritical way in which left-wingers have handled this has led him to question his place amongst them.
So far, I've seen videos of just the left being pro-unaliving political opponents, whether that be Trump, J.D. Vance, People celebrating what happened to Charlie Kirk today. It's just disgusting behavior. The fact that I have been a part of the left for 7 years, I never thought we'd get to the point where I would have to look at my own party and be like, oh, hold on, I can't support you anymore because everything that you are doing right now is against your political viewpoints and your values and beliefs. To sit here and promote gun violence against your opponents is wrong. And it arguably makes you worse than the other side because you're basically saying these people deserve to be unalived because our political beliefs are more important and should stand and should have more value than a human life. Ooh. Yeah, that doesn't sit right with me at all.
In addition to that video, there is a plethora of other people explaining how they don't feel like they fit in the left wing anymore. Because come to find out, dancing on the gravestones of innocent people, not a popular opinion. Who would have thought? In another video, a young woman explains that while her own views haven't shifted, she doesn't want to be associated with people on the left because of how they conduct themselves. Instead of switching sides, she's stepping away from the team atmosphere altogether.
I've been dreading making this video because I know I'm gonna get hate comments, especially from the left, and nobody likes hate comments online. I used to proudly call myself a liberal. I still believe in equality, healthcare access, LGBTQ+ rights, definitely science and social programs. But I've grown really tired of the performance, the fear-mongering, and the refusal to have real conversations. I don't want to be here to scream or cancel or shame somebody into agreeing with me. I believe that we need to listen to each other even when we disagree, because change doesn't happen in an echo chamber. I'm not switching sides. I'd say I'm stepping out of the label. I'm an independent, logic-based thinker who's done letting political parties define my humanity. I'm still progressive, but I care more about the truth than tribalism. You can fight for justice without losing your critical thinking. If you want to argue, go talk to somebody else. But if you're ready to listen, then I'm all ears.
In still another video, a woman who claims to have been a progressive says she thinks she's now a conservative after September 10th.
I've been a progressive for about 12 years, but after Wednesday, I'm pretty sure I'm just a conservative now. That's all I have to say.
The caption on her video reads, "I feel like I was slowly getting here before his assassination, but I'm absolutely done identifying with the violence that is the left. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk." Another user explains her own journey of leaving the left, which, much like mine, took place over time instead of a fast flip. She also points out that Democrats seem to be the party of emotional response rather than logic.
I registered to vote when I was 18 years old. I registered as a Democrat. I've been voting Democrat for 31 years. I am now 49. I have been voting Democrat for as long as Charlie Kirk was alive. First and foremost, I want to say to Mr. Kirk's family and to his children, I am so sorry. I gotta say personally, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I'm out. I'm done. I'm not ever going to be the type of person that comes on and publicly celebrates, certainly, because I think it takes an incredibly sick individual to do something like that. What the hell? But to even just sit back and not say anything, I think that that's complicit. The silence would speak volumes. I would be part of the problem. When I actually sat down and listened, which I have been for a couple of years now, to the debates from people like Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, and others, it's been making a lot of sense. I am autistic. I can't speak for every autistic person, but I'm a highly logical person. I have feelings, I have empathy, but I decision make and my thought process operates much more on logic than it does emotions and feelings when I'm making decisions and I'm thinking about my position on things. And I have noticed that the Democratic Party seems to be the party of emotion, control, fear, emotion. And others tend to be the party of logic and thinking, free thinking, opening yourself up to different opinions. You know, in my opinion, the Democratic Party has straight up become a cult. I'm done. I'm out. You have lost me. I have stayed loyal and true to this party for over 30 fucking years. All right? I am done.
There's also been a trend of using a song from the popular musical Hamilton as a way to announce that people will now be voting for Republicans. In a different video, a young woman points out that leftists only care about something when it's trendy, but they consistently ignore things happening around them.
I know some liberals, they're great fucking people. They give a fuck. They give back to the community. They have fucking common sense. But most of you sit up here on the fucking internet all day talking shit to people because they don't agree with you, but don't give a fuck about anybody else around you. You just want to follow the fucking hate train, and you don't have a singular fucking brain cell and nothing to fucking stand on. You haven't struggled a day in your fucking life and don't know what it's like to even fucking struggle. And you want to sit up here and make a mockery of someone's passing. It's absolutely fucking disgusting and embarrassing, and that's why so many people have left being a Democrat and a liberal. That's because you guys are fucking hateful. You literally preach against being hateful, and then you're fucking hateful. Like, be for fucking real.
I am fucking done with the Democratic Party. You guys are psychotic. I've been a Democrat my entire life. I'm 43 years old, and I've never been more humiliated and embarrassed to be part of something. You guys are the most racist, hateful, bigoted, nasty group of people I've ever had to commingle with. And it's not all, just to be clear, but it's a majority of you guys. The left has lost their goddamn minds. What I've witnessed over the last 72 hours has been an absolute disgrace. Disgrace. You guys want to sit here, you want to abort babies at 9 months, you want to leave the borders wide open. New York City is an absolute disgrace. You have no idea what's going on in Manhattan. It's disgusting. Disgusting. It's not even livable anymore. I can't wait to get out of here. We have people that are getting set on fire in New York City subways, not once, but twice. The stores are being looted. People are being pushed in front of the trains. The streets are filled with piss and weed. And I swear to God, I hope New York City single-handedly flips the entire New York State red.
And although many are shifting away from the left, they are still hesitant to just gravitate right towards the right. Most are just adopting labels like independent, centrist, moderate, that sort of thing, which I think is completely normal. I tend to get a little worried about super fast conversions or flips to anything, really. I'm not saying like overnight flips don't happen. Genuinely, I just find them a bit more rare.
So recently one of my videos has gone viral, which is leaving the left, and I just want to come out here and clear the air. Yes, I'm leaving the left, but I'm also not joining the right. I am going to put myself in the middle. I'm independent. I want to make sure that both sides are comfortable enough to conversate with me and share their beliefs without feeling any prejudice. So I want to be that person that I can conversate and understand why you have your faith-based beliefs and why you have your factual-based beliefs, or why you believe something the media is telling you, even though the media 9 out of 10 times is only giving you clickbait and rage bait versus actually telling you the whole story.
But the thing is, people leaving left isn't a new trend by any means. A recent report released by the New York Times in August shows that from 2020 to 2024, Democrats lost 2.1 million registered voters, while Republicans gained 2.4 million in the 30 states that track party affiliation. But it's gotten so bad for Democrats that one TikToker even suggested just abandoning the Democratic Party altogether to infiltrate the right, so that they can implant leftist politicians there.
Just register Republican. Just register Republican. You're a blue dot in a red area, just register Republican. Then you get a say in who gets to be their primary candidate. Register Republican. Just register Republican. It doesn't matter. You can go online. That little card doesn't make a difference. It doesn't actually mean anything. You can just register Republican. Let's all just register Republican. We can all register Republican. What will happen if the Republican Party and the MAGA Party all starts getting crazy leftist LGBTQ folk and we can all just register Republican? There's nothing stopping them. If they're going to round up all the leftists and the Democrats, we can all just register Republican. It's all fake anyway. It's all made up. Register Republican. You can vote for whoever you want in the general elections, but in the primaries, you would have a voice in a less crazy candidate, maybe making it to the last stage of the game here. Just register Republican. Just do it. Just register Republican. Nobody's going to stop you. You can do anything you want. Just register Republican.
So that's crazy. Yeah. Listen, I don't do the whole they have crazy eyes thing because sometimes my eyes get real wide too. You know, I'm an expressive person, but you know mental instability when you see it. That's all I'm going to say. And this trend isn't happening because everyone is turning into a Nazi, contrary to the popular belief on TikTok. It's happening because of leftists themselves, in addition to bad democratic policies. And many are realizing that they can't trust the left wing to be honest once they go and do their own research. Like one man on TikTok who realized that the narrative of Charlie Kirk being racist wasn't true.
Let me just clarify, y'all made me obsessed with Charlie Kirk. This came out of the blue for me. I never cared for bro content like that. Nothing against what he said. I was just never interested in clicking his videos to see what he had to say. But y'all made me deep dive and go down this rabbit hole because there was no possible way that y'all seen the same video I saw and half the world rejoiced it. And I'm just sitting here like, there's no way. Immediately I'm sitting here like, bro, nobody deserved to go out like that in front of all them kids, in front of his family. And y'all rejoiced it. Y'all celebrated it. And y'all ain't even had nothing to do with it. So I said, bro, he must have said something. I'm missing something. I'm seeing creators that used to talk about God and is going to get on here and compromise their belief, religion, faith to celebrate death. We talking about something that's biblical that you should never do. And folks is coming on here doing it. So I said, I got to deep dive into what he said, because is he on the status of Hitler? What am I missing? And somebody said, well, he would have did that for you. Well, I don't care. My morals would never allow me to celebrate death. Doesn't matter who it is. So the fact that you've been compromised, I have to get down to the bottom of it. And not just one person, too many. So y'all encouraged me to go down this rabbit hole, to figure out what bro has said for this hate to be sparked up or maybe revealed in a lot of people. And I'm almost satisfied, because now I started looking into stuff and I'm like, dang, so you felt like this, your hate and evilness has been revealed within you. But what you said to what he said is cap. That's not even what he said. That's not even in the full context. So now I'm just starting to, oh, that was a lie. Oh, that was a lie. Wow. So, so now I don't know. I'm deep in it now. Pause.
And that's how it happens for a lot of us leaving the left, actually. We realized one thing was a lie, and then another, and then another, and then you start trying to unravel all of that, and until eventually you find yourself at the end of your rope and you just let it go and walk away altogether. But we have entered into this new era where it seems like all these leftists are promoting and encouraging political violence against your opponents. And that's not a popular majority opinion. That is a fringe view, a dangerous one at that. And they justify promoting political violence by calling everybody a Nazi or a fascist or a white supremacist. But instead of leftists realizing their extreme views are destroying their own movement, they double down and treat anyone who shifts away as a traitor. And I know I've said this before in the past, but this is how cults act. They treat apostates as traitors. They claim that anyone who actually believes in the principles would never leave the group. So anyone who has left the group wasn't a true believer, wasn't really one of us. Which is usually how former lefties are always treated by people on the left. There's no room for change or independent thinking. If you don't agree with the group, you're out, and you're socially shunned. Which is exactly what's happening with someone like Dean Withers, who hasn't left the left, hasn't abandoned his principles, but because he cried when witnessing a very violent event and showed empathy towards Charlie Kirk and his family.
His wife and children were in attendance, dude. Imagine, you know, imagine being a 12-year-old, you know, watching your dad fucking die. And if you want to claim to care about ending gun violence, then you can never celebrate it.
He is now being painted as a left-wing grifter by other progressives.
Dean Withers has never stood for anything other than himself. He's been performative from day one, clinging to liberalism not because he believes in it, but because Charlie Kirk had already locked down the conservative grift. There wasn't room for two Charlies on one side. So Dean played the opposite lane. It gave him attention, it gave him clout, and it gave him a platform. But now that Charlie Kirk is gone, and you better believe Dean sees that opening, that's what grifters do. They sniff out vacancies. Don't be shocked when he flips, when he suddenly rethinks his position, when he reinvents himself as the conservative voice of reason. Because it was never about values. It was never about democracy. It was always about Dean. He's not an activist. He's not fighting for rights. He's not organizing communities. He's a clout chaser in search of the next gig.
I said, don't follow the debate bro. It's never good. It never ends well. Dean and Charlie have always been on different sides of the same grift. Okay, debate broing is a grift.
And his audience was so angry about this, Dean actually issued an apology for having human emotions, I guess.
I said that in response to those celebrating the physical facts of the assassination. However, if I'm going to be honest with myself here, the takeaway of my message for many was that if you feel relief because said bigotry will no longer be espoused by him, you are an immoral, bad person. Now, to that, I apologize. I do. I apologize. I want to clarify. Feeling a sense of relief that this person will no longer be spewing bigotry is natural.
If you haven't put this together by now, they are mad because they think that showing empathy towards Charlie Kirk, towards his family, which they have now interpreted as showing unwavering support for Kirk and his causes, which they label a white supremacist agenda.
We are witnessing in real time a grifter allowing his mask to slip. Like, Dean is not only crying uncontrollably online, he is also crashing out to the extent in which he is offending his own base by throwing unwavering support and mourning to a man who does not believe that people who look like you and I should exist.
And some of them are just openly racist against Dean because he's white. Because that's okay now for some reason. So they are devouring their own for having an empathetic reaction because the person receiving that empathy is somebody that they hate. And then they justify their own hatred by claiming that he was just so hateful that they have to hate him. Just feels like we're on a hamster wheel of hate. The hamster wheel of hate. That's where we find ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your run. I don't, actually. I don't like any of this. This all sucks. Reminder, these are the people who also think that they care about other people. I don't think you care so much as you want to care or want to look like you care. See, the thing is their empathy only applies to the in-group, which means it's not real empathy anyway, you know? And they continue to verbalize just how much they hate anyone who doesn't share their worldview while pointing the finger and calling the rest of us bigots. Left-wingers will block you online and socially shun you in person if they find out you're right-wing, and they aren't afraid to say so.
I just unfollowed somebody that I have been following since Vine days. Like, if you know, you know. We're talking 10 plus years ago, okay? And I just unfollowed them because of their beliefs, okay? If you know, you know. You already know what I'm talking about. So if you all wouldn't mind to do me a favor, can you just like drop a comment of every single right-wing creator that I don't know is right-wing? Because I need to get them all blocked.
I also saw a video of a left-wing woman saying that as a mother of daughters, she's really worried about the quiet MAGA women who are raising sons, which is kind of funny to me. Like, what are you so worried about? That we're not going to trans our kids?
For 10 years, you've been calling us woke and stupid and saying us having empathy is a weakness. And now that we have no empathy left for you, you're telling us we're evil.
Actually, I think you're stupid because you believe men can get pregnant, and I think you're kind of evil for celebrating murder all the time. So it's not much of a secret that the left wing has had this very clear and loud prejudice against anybody who disagrees with their worldview. And it is going to cost them everything if their party crumbles under the weight of their own hatred. Much like it has been doing for the last 4 years. And don't get me wrong, I don't think this is a slam dunk for Republicans by any means, but I do think it's an opportunity to reach across the aisle and talk to people, which coincidentally is one of the biggest threats to just the left wing and the Democratic Party in general right now, open dialogue. And apparently now it's also a very dangerous thing for right-wingers to even try to have conversations, because we are frequently met with actual physical violence, not just the words are violence kind of violence, which isn't violence at all. But I do feel very hopeful seeing at least some people reject the extremism, because it means that they are seeing the problem and acknowledging it rather than ignoring it or running away from it. They want to talk instead of shout people down. and they are morally sound enough to acknowledge that political violence is wrong, regardless of who it's being aimed at or what your cause is. And I do hope my little internet community is welcoming of those people, because they need a place to land, they need a place to go to talk to others. I would welcome the current lefties over here too, but they won't stop calling me a Nazi long enough to hear the invite. Shout out to those of you who are kind of left-wing or left-leaning at the very least who do watch my channel. I know there are a few of you, and I appreciate you being here. Because regardless if we agree or not, we can at least talk about it. But that's my take, and now I would love to hear yours. Do you think this will be another wake-up call for Democrats? Do you think they will make more of an effort to curb the violent leftists among them? Or do you think that they are doomed to crumble under their own rage? Also, how do you feel about us former lefties? Are you accepting? Are you welcoming? Are you a little hesitant to trust that it's a genuine change? All of this makes me think back to like when I popped up on the internet and everybody was just really warm, really welcoming, and they just genuinely wanted to know my story and what happened and how my thought process changed and worked and, you know, all of that. And I found it so fun in my early days of TikTok to just go through and answer just questions that were people just genuinely curious. So I hope that other former lefties also have that same experience and feel comfortable sharing about that online, because it's hard. It's hard because you know that the people who you once agreed with will eat you alive, and they will harass you and insult you and say the meanest things that they could possibly think of to you. And the funniest part is they do all that while claiming that the right wing is so nasty and horrible, but it's the right wing where all of these former lefties end up taking refuge. Group of horrible, hateful, intolerant people, but they're way more accepting than you are. And if you ever have video suggestions, please let me know in the comments down below, or you can head over and tell me on Twitter, or you can DM me on Instagram. But before I depart, there have been a few people to ask how they can help support the channel other than just watching my videos. So if you are somebody who would like to offer some additional support for the content that I make here, you can feel free to go buy me a coffee. Never buy me a coffee if it would otherwise take away your own coffee. You know what I mean? I really appreciate anybody who is willing to do that. It means a lot. And honestly, it just means a lot having you here watching my videos, subscribing to my channel. That's incredible. But thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And I will see you guys in the next one. Toodles!